Hey guys, hope you're all well. We're now back from our trip up north at Nalu, and it's time to clean the car and the van. So a bit of work to do. We've been through some mud and dirt. We're going to have a bit of a task ahead of us. Today I'm going to take you through the products and the process that we follow after each big trip to stay on top of our maintenance. I'll start by showing you the products that I use to clean the car and the van, and then we'll jump into the cleaning. So back of the Ranger here, these are the tools I use to clean. I've got a Gerni washer there. You can use anything, Karcher for example, whatever works for you. And I purchased, it's a snow foam from Bowdens. I'm a big fan of that. Next to that is a product called Snow Job by Bowdens. On the right is the Salty Captain 4-wheel drive and RV wash. So the Snow Job I use for outside the vehicle, and the 4-wheel drive and RV wash I use for under the vehicle. There are a few others on the market as well, but those work well. I've got the Bowdens Orange Agent. That's really good for stubborn like dirt, like red dirt and mud. You can spray that under the vehicle. I've got a little brush, which I also use for sort of cleaning hard to reach spots. Finally, I've got INOX MX4 lanolin spray. I use that under the vehicle as sort of a preventative rust product once the vehicle is fully clean. Certainly worth investing in a couple of good quality microfiber cloths. So on the right hand side I use this for drying the vehicle, and on the left for buffing afterwards and removing any watermarks. No affiliations whatsoever with these products. I just like them, they work well. So yeah, let's get into it. We talked about stuff failing on this trip and picked up another thing as well. So the table in here is actually shaken loose and come off at the hinges, so that's another thing I'll need to fix this morning. Should be relatively simple to fix, but that's essentially the bracket that's come off completely from the wall. I'll just need to reinsert some new, probably some stronger screws. That's corrugations for you, hey? It just shakes everything. So in terms of cleaning, what I'll generally do is pull everything out of the van, give it a good vac. Give it a good wipe down, clean the bathroom, empty the toilet canister, all those sort of things. Flush the grey water tank, flush the fresh water tank, empty all my water containers. Make sure there's no fresh food in the van as well. We'll get into the cleaning now. It's going to be a big, probably couple of days of cleaning, but we'll just take our time and do it thoroughly. A few improved screws and our table's fixed, so that was pretty easy. Everything else looks pretty okay in the van, which is good. Obviously I'll get under and have a good look and make sure all the suspension and everything is as it should be, but inside the van everything seems to have held up pretty well with the corrugation, so that's a tick. Once your van's clean, get yourself something like damp rid. You can get that from Bunnings, either in the sachet, in the smaller sachets or the bigger packets. This is what it looks like. This is the bigger packet they do. You can just put that in a small container, leave it in the area you want to absorb the moisture, and you'll see in a few days there'll be dampness in there. You can also get these sort of packs like this. Now these are just from Aldi, but you can also get them from Bunnings or even supermarkets as well. They're pretty easy because it comes with a container. All you do is pull aluminium foil off the top and then leave that out as well, and I do the same thing. So the first thing I normally do in the van is open the ensuite door. That's where most of your moisture is going to build up, and I'll place it near the floor there. The other place I'll put it is inside the fridge as well. And I'll just leave the lid ajar, not fully down, just again so no moisture builds up in there. So they're the two places I put in the van, and we've had no issues with mold whatsoever. The rain's setting in Perth, as you can see, wearing the beanie. What a change, eh, from yesterday. We'll leave that on for about 5 minutes, and then we'll blast it off with some fresh water, and then we'll do the outside of the van. Okay, pretty clean under there now, so let's get to the outside. Foamed up now, so we can let that sit for about 5 minutes and then blast it off, and we should be in a good position. all nice and clean, which is good. So normally I would wipe that down with a microfiber, but given it's raining today, there's really no point. But at least I've got all that mud and dirt off. We'll get onto the car next. All right, let's have a look how dirty the car is. So as you can see, very dirty. We've got lots of mud. We've got dirty wheels. Underneath, particularly dirty. There's a lot of mud under there. I find it helps to get the worst of the dirt from under the vehicle first and then clean the outside. You'll find if you do have mud under a vehicle, it will probably take a few washes to get it all off, but just do your best the first time. Hit it with a lot of water with a high pressure hose and then use sort of a product under your vehicle. So the other thing you want to do is get your hose and pop it into your chassis there and give it a really good rinse out. Just every hole that you can, just stick it in there and you'll see red dirt and dust come out. So because I've been on the beach and there's been salt water, etc., I've also given my engine bay a bit of a clean. Now, I don't ever use high pressure water for this, so it's just standard garden hose and I cover up any sort of electrics, etc., but just a light hose just to get rid of any salt build up on particularly the metal areas. So I've done that and I'll give it a bit of a wipe down as well. If you've cleaned under your vehicle and there's still red dirt under there, this is where the orange agent really comes into its own. What you can do is give it a light water down underneath, then get your orange agent, give it a spray, let it sit for a few minutes. You can give it a bit of a light brush down and then hose it off. You'll find most of that red dirt will disappear. All right, so here's the finished product. What do you reckon? Looking nice and clean under the vehicle now, so we can turn to prevention. We're gonna grab our INOX and then I'm just gonna spray it under the vehicle, along the chassis rails, along all the metal surfaces, etc. Keep away from brake pads and those sort of things, but this stuff's pretty safe to spray on most surfaces. So that's kind of the final step for prevention, and that'll help make sure there's no rust buildup. Thanks for hanging to the end, guys. That kind of wraps up our video. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you got something out of it. If you have another tip that you use or a particular product that works really well, I'd love to know. Please drop it in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It does help the channel grow. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.